All right, hi everybody. It is Friday evening, May the 2nd. It is just after 6:35. We wrapped up our evening newscast, and I thank those of you who joined us on that. And then before that, who joined us on this live stream for much of the afternoon as we've been tracking these storms rolling on by, and we still have quite a bit going on locally right now. Several warnings, which we'll talk about, several flood warnings, which we'll also talk about as well. That's becoming a big problem as these storms persist and bring round after round of heavy rain. You can see right along where I'm pointing out here, this is the leading edge where the storms are strongest. You get back here, though, severity drops off. Still a flooding concern, but not a severe concern. So as I've been saying since this afternoon, this is not going to be all night. It's primarily through about mid-evening, and by mid to late evening, before midnight, we're going to see this all move away pretty rapidly. Okay, and so again, what we're having right now is the worst of it. Then it'll start ending as it moves its way on off to the east. So thanks to those of you who've been watching us throughout the afternoon and evening hours, and we continue our live stream now. And what I'm going to do is minimize myself and bring up the radar here so you can see that a little bit better. You don't need to see me on here. I'll stay on here just for narration purposes. But you can see right now what we're dealing with, several different warnings that are still ongoing. We'll go step by step through each one. And right there, there's that line, which this afternoon was the third round. It's really caught up and moved to the east rapidly over the past couple of hours. But there's that line from Fort Payne to just south of the city. And that's going to move into a large part of North Georgia. So we're going to see these active warnings continue pressing on to the east. Let me show you first of all, flood warning in effect. This is a flash flood warning out. This is an imminent danger across Hamilton County from the state line all the way to about Saudi Daisy. And if you look at how much rain we've already had, some of these areas have already had well over 3, and near Snow Hill, that could be about 4 right there. You can see 3.4 is a total. I'll give a total here in Snow Hill. That's about close to 4. So yeah, that's a problem. So either flash flooding, if it hasn't started in your area, it'll be expected shortly, especially in these low-lying areas, poorly drained areas. So please be aware of that. And along with that, you got these repeated rounds of storms still moving on through. So let's take a look, first of all, at where we have a warning out for Hamilton and Bradley County. Now, the worst of that storm is now over Bradley. But you go from Ottawa to Cleveland, that storm's still pretty strong. And then back behind that, the outflow has sparked another storm in and around the city. And that's the problem. These repeated rounds are causing the flash flooding that's been going on. Crazy out there. But let's take a look at this storm here near Cleveland. This is right where that warning is out. This is out to the top of the hour, 7 o'clock. And again, the main risk factors there were for damaging wind gusts up to 60, 1-inch diameter hail about the size of a quarter. And of course, very heavy rain, a lot of lightning. And then the outflow from these has sparked other storms to develop. Now, let me show you, there are new warnings now for Catoosa, Whitfield, and Eastern Walker. It's not for this. It's for this. That linear line of showers and storms. That's moving east. That's what's prompted this new warning. So, yes, in Ringgold, it's already storming. But the warning is not for that cell. It's for this coming in. So I'm going to read you the text of the warning here, which is issued just a few moments ago for Catoosa, Western Whitfield, and Eastern Walker. All right, this is for that severe thunderstorm, which is that line of storms right along the Georgia-Alabama border, heading eastward, moving east about 45 miles an hour. This, again, could have wind gusts up to 60, quarter-size hail, and more rain. So more excessive runoff there. So that line, and I'll track it for you on our tracker. Let me back up just a little bit so you can see the whole line. This line is the kind of final line of severe storms, but it goes from the city all the way down to just the east of Fort Payne. And if we track it right here, just that leading edge, moving east at 45, that's a fairly rapid pace. These are the areas that it could be impacting, and some of these are not under warning at the moment, but notice the timeline here. Lafayette, around 6:51. So Lafayette is just west of you now. So in less than 10 minutes, you're probably already feeling the wind. But that line is going to move in. Somerville, 7:02. Dalton, around 7:14. Calhoun, around 7:32. And Red Bud, just east of there, around 7:38. So over the next hour, it can make it probably as far east as Fannin and Gilmer County. So that's a very fast moving line. But that's also that final line of severe storms, because back behind this, it's not as bad. Yeah, it's raining and lightning, but not as bad as that line is. Moving on through. So again, we're looking at this warning, which encompasses a large area. In fact, it's starting to add more counties even as I start talking about it. But this part of Chattooga County moments ago issued that severe thunderstorm warning out till 7:15. Same reason for that line coming in, which is now just east of Fort Payne, moving towards Somerville. So again, all these areas are Dade, Walker, Catoosa, Whitfield, Chattooga. It's all because of this line right here moving in. All right. Now, also right here, parts of Marion County, this part of that line, severe thunderstorm warning route for Hamilton and Marion. Again, these are all issued just in the past few minutes, all of them on that same line. Okay. This is what happens when it all happens at once and encompasses so many different counties. It's hard to keep up there, but just want to let you guys know what's going on, because you had your alert radio go off or your Storm Track 9 app give you that alert. But here we go. This is that warning for Hamilton and Marion. It's along the same line. This line of storms starting out near Kimball and near Jasper, moving northeast at 20. Again, wind gusts up to 60 are possible. And more heavy rain and that flooding threat is going to be very possible with that also. So watch that storm again. It's right there near Whiteside over to South Pittsburgh, heading off to the east. And that prompted that new warning. And again, look at these warnings just crisscrossing themselves. But if I zoom out, it's kind of easy to understand what's happening. Look at the line that's right here. Right there. That's caused so many different warnings. It's all for the very same line. Okay. So it's just crossed into Georgia. It's still extending back towards Marion County, but headed through Hamilton, Marion. Eventually, again, Bradley, you're under a warning now. You're going to have another warning possibly coming in with this line. And the same thing from Lafayette to Dalton to Somerville. This all makes its way off to the east and northeast, kind of generally in this direction. Let me point it out for you. In this general direction to the east and northeast. Okay. All right. Now, if we zoom out, all of this area that I'm going to circle, all east of this, is pretty loud in this area here, but no longer severe. Rain and lightning, but all of this is dying down. In fact, just west of the plateau, it's over. Okay? It's over. So it's going to make that final push to the east. So between now and say 9:30, 10 o'clock, it's going to move from here to here fairly rapidly. Okay? And I'll show you one other map as well. Grundy County, now the severe thunderstorm watch has expired. Same thing for Cumberland and Van Buren. And we'll see more of this progress farther east as the night goes on. Again, northwest Georgia is out till 11 o'clock. Threat will probably end before 11 o'clock. Southeast Tennessee, the watch is out till 9 o'clock Eastern. About that time, a lot of that will be moving farther off to the east. And there's, again, that flash flood warning out for Hamilton County. Repeated rounds of rain, upwards of over 3-4 inches of rain already, and that's causing the flash flooding. So we got so many different layers to this system. All right, let me show you one other thing. We're going to take a look at just hail. We're going to isolate the radar and just show you hail, because we've had a lot of pea-sized hail in many spots. And we'll take the warnings off and take the lightning off, so you just kind of isolate that. We're just looking at hail. We see these little patches of gray. Southern part of Bradley, from Ringgold to East Brainerd. This is all kind of pea-sized hail, okay? Pea-size. Same thing that we're seeing just south and west of Chickamauga, little areas of pea-sized hail. So we've had that very common today. Southern parts of Dade, some hail. It was a little bigger. You see where it was bright blue about an hour ago? It was a little bigger. Now it's coming down. That's good. It means the updraft kind of weakening just a little bit, but still, nevertheless, east of Fort Payne. So at Chattooga County, Walker, you're going to have some pea-sized hail pockets move in. A little bit larger there. North parts of Catoosa near Ringgold, crossing into East Brainerd, south of Cleveland. To the north, not as many pockets of hail. That's good. But that's where the main pockets are for now. So that kind of gives you the idea of the severity. The worst of the weather is right along that line where these warnings are in effect, all the way to Bradley County. In fact, behind this, things are calming down a bit. It's still raining and a lot of lightning, but it's calming down just a bit. Now let's put all the features back on the map. We'll start with the lightning layer. Let's put the polygon layer back up, all those warnings, and of course the radar layer. There we go. Let's look at a velocity scan here also. Tell you about the winds inside the storm. Oh, yeah. You got some deep pink there. That's not good. That's some very strong wind gusts with that. So, again, there's been some gusts upwards of 60 possible. I'll put this back up there so you can see that. Very strong wind gusts, Chickamauga to Lafayette. It is straight line wind, okay? But that fits in where that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect, right along that line moving through. So straight line wind gust, a problem. Let's go north a bit into these cells here. And we're going to look at the velocity, which shows you the direction of movement. The precip gives you an idea of the wind inside the storm. And you can see, again, individual strong updrafts and some rotation in the storms, which is common when you got hail. But you can see the reason why they are hail producers. And some very strong wind gusts there, Cleveland to Ocoee, moving right along 64. So very burst of strong wind gusts there south of Cleveland. Let's back up here just a bit. Take a look at that line right there. And again, noted how it's a bit stronger. Some strong wind gusts south side of the city and then down especially here across northwest Georgia. That can bring down some trees, folks. Certainly hope not, but that's some strong gusts. And it's right along this line. And you got a feature like this with it lining up. That's where straight line wind gusts are going to be a problem. So you can see a pretty elongated area there. Lafayette, south of Chickamauga, about Tryon. We'll zoom out just a little bit. So some very strong straight line wind gusts right on the leading edge of that line. So heads up Eastern Walker, heads up Catoosa, heads up Whitfield. You have some strong gusts coming your way as that line plows its way eastward very rapidly, around 45 miles an hour. So when you got rapid movement that fast aloft, well, those speeds will translate down to the surface. So again, let me show you, again, a ton of warnings all for this same line. So you got this line causing all these warnings here, and these individual cells here near Cleveland, not associated with that line, prompted these warnings. That could carry over to McMinn County. So let's go north to south, take a look at the timing of these warnings. Again, this one, Cleveland into the southern part of McMinn County. This is out until 7 o'clock Eastern time. Wind gusts up to 60, penny-sized hail. It is moving east at 30. So little change in direction. If you're watching our earlier web stream, we mentioned how everything was moving south to north and then would start moving more west to east. Now we've seen that transition. And then below that warning for Bradley Hamilton, this warning out till 7:30 Eastern, southwestern Bradley, southeastern Hamilton. Again, 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. It's moving northeast at 20. Some pockets of hail also. And just issued a new warning there. Here we go. It's for this storm right here. From Cleveland down to the southern part of Bradley County. This is a new warning. You just probably got that alert. Or your mobile device sent you that warning. Doing a lot of talking today, getting in my voice. This is out till 7:45. New severe thunderstorm warning out for, more specifically, southeastern Bradley, western Polk, and south central McMinn County. It is moving northeast at 30. And like the same current situation is around Cleveland, wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour possible as this moves off to the east and to the northeast. And again, that's for the storm that's right there just east of Cleveland. Right there. So that's prompted this new polygon right there. So I've covered those polygons. Now let's go across North Georgia. Again, North Georgia warnings are due to this line that's moving east. So this goes as far east for the moment as parts of Whitfield, Walker, Catoosa. That's out till 7:30. This will be extended with time as it moves east. And as we have seen on the velocity scan, that's got some very strong wind gusts with it. Sorry. Very strong wind gusts with that between Lafayette and Chickamauga moving its way off to the east. And that does extend down into Chattooga County. That line breaking up just a little bit, not quite as pronounced as that northern flank of the line, but still from Chattooga County back into portions of Cherokee County, Alabama, and DeKalb County. This severe thunderstorm warning out till 7:15 Eastern. Again, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail. It is moving to the east at 40 miles an hour. Let's do some tracking, shall we? We'll track this line first of all, then we'll go to that newest warning there over Bradley and Polk County. Again, I believe here that eastward movement is still at 45. It's still moving along pretty good pace. My computer's playing games with me a little bit. So many different features, and yet you just want it to be simple. So here we go. All right, we're tracking this line moving east at 45. So across northwest Georgia, this is where it's going to cover over the next hour. Here's what it is now. Now, the next hour to be is about as far east as Ellijay by 8 o'clock. And again, that's how fast it's moving out. Okay, but still a very busy next 90 minutes coming up. But Somerville, you got it over you right now. Dalton, that line will be approaching you about 7:13, next 15 minutes. Calhoun, still around 7:30, as we estimated earlier. And Ellijay about 7:53. So that is tracking the line that's over Ringgold to Lafayette down to Somerville, moving its way off to the east. All right, now let's go back to that newly warned storm that's there over eastern Bradley County, going into Bradley and Polk. Again, that's that warning, the newest warning we've had. This is out till 7:45 Eastern. Again, gust as high as 60 miles an hour possible. It's moving a little bit slower, but we'll still provide a tracker for you. Now, as I track this, keep in mind, I'm going to track this severe portion. When I show you the tracker, it's going to be already raining in these areas. So it may show on the tracker Calhoun. It may show areas like Inglewood, but it's already raining there. We're tracking when this will get there. Okay. So we're going to track the leading edge of this part of the storm. There you go. So again, in some areas it's already raining, but Ocoee, that's going to be reaching you by 7:44. I know it should be sooner than that. Sooner than that. Oh, come on. Yeah. Let me do a different tracker. That can't be right. Because this is over Ocoee right now. There we go. Yeah. I thought so. So it's over Ocoee now. Etowah around 7:28. Now again, Etowah, it is raining on you now. I'm tracking where this will get closer to you. So understand what we're talking about. It's already raining and a lot of lightning in Etowah, but you can get more of that coming in, a little bit stronger between now and 7:30. Tellico Plains around 7:53. So over the next hour to go from here to here. So those are the two main areas. Let's also track this cell right here. This had the severe thunderstorm warning out to, I believe, 7:15. Another 15 minutes across Marion in this part of Hamilton County. It's actually till 7:30. That storm is moving northeast at 20, so a little slower. So we'll track the leading edge of this one. And it's right here, right near Signal Mountain to the eastern part of Marion. Now, keep in mind again, in many of these areas, it's already raining. But we're just tracking this cell, and when this cell will move over these areas over the next hour. So East Ridge around 7:14. Again, it's already raining, and it's loud out there now, but when will this get there? Downtown, this will reach there at the next few minutes, 7:09. And then as far east as Snow Hill around 755. So this cell moving this direction. Now again, I want you to notice back in these areas outside these warnings, these areas back here, it is mainly rain and lightning. It is no longer a severe threat. It's still dangerous to be outside with lightning, but not severe. So things are improving across Grundy. It's still raining, but not a severe threat. So mainly our threat levels from the city, south, and east. Right along here. From here to here. This is where the worst of the weather is. Here to here. All right, let's take a look at any wind damage locally. Yeah, this gives you an idea of some of the wind and flooding reports. Let's see. This was earlier this afternoon, some trees down in Harrison and reports of hail. These are all flooding reports, and no surprise here. Catoosa County, this is actually a hail report. Pea-size hail near Cloud Springs Road. Many areas with that reported. A lot of these are earlier from storm spotters. This is around 5:30 this afternoon, almost the size of a penny. In Walker County on Lookout Mountain, over near the Fairland area. Near Cleveland. Dime to nickel size, but near an inch. It's almost near quarter size in Cleveland. That was much earlier this afternoon. And let's see, there were other wind reports from earlier on today. Ray County around 4 o'clock. Near Dayton. Several trees down. And again, the severe thunderstorm watch kind of dropping off for several counties to the west where the severity is breaking down. So along the plateau and west, things have dropped off. And again, we'll start moving farther. This will progress farther east over the next few hours as more counties get dropped from this watch. I'd say by 9 o'clock, a lot of counties are dropped off, and even more by 11 o'clock. There's that flash flood warning out till 10 o'clock over Hamilton County. Again, we've seen these rainfall rates pretty high. We see the orange. That is in and around and just over the 4-inch mark, now approaching the 5-inch mark near Snow Hill, and it's still raining. So if you live in these areas or very flood-prone areas, please be aware of that. Seek higher ground. Once again, the strong storm, which is right now between Cleveland and Ocoee, that warning is out till 7:45 Eastern. And folks, I want to let you know, I see your comments there. I'm trying to go around as many areas as possible to help answer your question there. I appreciate those of you let me know what's happening out there, but I'm trying to keep you updated. And just to summarize, people are asking about the tornado threat. As we've said all day and all afternoon, that threat's extremely low. This type of event that we're having is more of a wind and hail issue, and shifting gears, a flooding issue. The ingredients for sustained tornadoes is extremely low. Can't say it's totally zero, but it is a very low 2%. It's the lowest severe factor, so keep that in mind, okay? Let's take a look at any hail within this with our hail tracker. And you can see, I'm going to take the lightning off just so you can see a little bit better. This shows you where the pockets of hail are. It also shows you where the strongest storms are. You can see some pockets of hail near Ocoee. A little bit still over East Brainerd to Ringgold. Pockets of hail. And still some pockets of hail. It was a little bigger across Dade County, little pockets of blue there, but kind of coming down a bit, but still Ringgold to Lafayette, some pockets of hail right there. This shows you where the strongest storms are at the moment, where you see the presence of hail. Let's go back here and take a look at the there's that flash flood warning out for Hamilton County. As you can see over the past 12 hours, that's where the heaviest rain has been. Your rain gauge may have had more, but you can see why Hamilton County is under that flash flood warning. There have been other pockets where we've seen upwards of around 2 inches of rain. We see this green to yellow. I mean, that's still upwards of around 2 or so, but it's these areas over here that are really, really rough. Snow Hill, near Harrison. Now, some of this may be reacted to the reflection of hail on the radar, but some of these rain gauges could be overflowing. Upwards around 4 inches here up Highway 58. And here, Hickson area, 3 to over 4 inches of rain. And that's why that flash flood warning is in effect till 10 o'clock Eastern. And pouring rain in so many areas, even outside areas where there are warnings out. Cleveland, heavy rain. Excuse me. Go all up and down 75, all up and down 411. These are repeated rounds of rain. Athens, Sweetwater. Look at all that lightning also. Now you jump back here to Spring City to Dayton. It's no longer severe. It's good, but still a lot of lightning, a lot of rain. Got to be aware of the flooding risk. It goes all the way back to Dunlap to Whitwell. You can probably hear the rain on our rooftop here, pouring out there. All right, let's take a look at the ongoing warnings. And again, this is a long area of warnings for the exact same reason. It's this long line of storms right here. And that is heading off to the east, east-northeast. Okay. So it's prompted several warnings along that line covering a lot of real estate, but goes about as far east as Whitfield County and Gordon County. These are out to 7:30 and 8 o'clock respectively. As that line moves east at 35. It is all the same threat. Risk of damaging wind gusts up to 60 and possibly some quarter-size hail. So we're going to track the leading edge of this. Moving east at 35. So over the next hour, between now and 8 o'clock, it'll be about as far west as Fannin and Gilmer County. So Dalton over the next few minutes, about 15 minutes away, that line's going to reach you. Villanelle in the next few minutes, that line is just west of you now. Calhoun around 7:41, so a little slower, about 10 minutes later than the earlier timeline. And down over Floyd County near Shannon, 7:43. So this is the amount of real estate it's going to take up over the next hour. Again, we'll take a look at the velocity scale within this cell. And still you can see there's some pockets of strong wind gust right between Cleveland and Ocoee. So it's forcing the rain down also. So very heavy rain, a lot of lightning still with that, and some strong wind gusts with that. This again is out till 7:45 Eastern. That is moving northeast at 30. Let's put a tracker on that. We're going to track this portion of the storm. So Claxton, it's already raining, but we're tracking what's going on near Ocoee. So Etowah around 7:30. Turtletown by 7:40. Technical planes around 7:55. So between now and just after 8 o'clock, this is where this storm will be moving. So it'll be encountering neighboring portions of Polk, parts of McMinn, parts of Monroe. And as you can see, it's just raining buckets out there. Look at all that lightning in around Cleveland to Ocoee. But you can also see how fast it's moving. Let's go north of Cleveland up to Charleston. So along 64, along 75, and along 411. All the way to Benton, all the way into Polk County near Parksville. And again, if you look at these areas here, west of the warnings, things are not severe any longer. It's still raining. There's still lightning, but these areas are much, much better. And farther west of the plateau, it's rapidly ending. So the main push that we still have yet to go in tracking is right here. This is our main severe push here. This part's moving this way. Others more moving more to the east. So over the next hour, it's going to be this area very, very active. Between now and around 8:15, very active. We get toward 9 o'clock, and a lot of that's going to be moving farther off to the east, and things will be improving quite a bit. So not lasting all night. As we've said all day long, this is primarily going to be through the early to mid stage of the evening. And here we are. We'll just kind of loop that. And you can see East Brainerd, Ooltewah, just raining, lightning. Same thing down to Indian Springs and Ringgold, down 41. You get into downtown, very heavy rain, East Ridge, in the city, in Red Bank. It's an area that's still under a flash flood warning out until 10 o'clock. Again, stay safe out there. If you live in areas known to be prone to flooding, please be aware of that. We say so often, if you be driving, walking, on a bike, if you encounter any area flooded out, over. Turn around, don't drown. Go the other way. Find somewhere else to cross. Do not cross floodwaters. Just 6 inches of rapidly moving water. 6 inches, barely above your ankle. Rapidly moving water can sweep a person off their feet. 6 inches of moving water can move a car. That's how powerful water is. All right, there's that line we've been tracking. Kind of down the 2 lines a bit, but you can see. Oh, that's a bleed over there. I see what's happening there. Let me take one radar off here. There we go. That gives us a better look at it there. There was one radar was delayed, so I took that delayed radar off. It's like, why is there a shadow? There you go. You can see it a little bit better there. Yeah, high top radar in Jackson County, Alabama, has been kind of going off and on today. It happens, little maintenance issues. That dropped off about 10 minutes ago. Now check this out. In advance of that line moving east, it's pulling up that cell. And with the outflow, that's a pretty good cell right there from Crandall. That's just northeast of Dalton, so no warning there, but heavy rain and lightning from Cisco to Crandall, along Highway 2 and east of Varnell. As you can see right there, the strongest line now east of Chickamauga to Lafayette to Somerville. And things rapidly improving farther back to the west. And someone asking me about Murphy area, not leaving you out, just hasn't reached you yet, but I would say watch this line over Polk County. I'd say after the 8 o'clock hour, I mean, moving into Cherokee County, so 8 to 9 p.m. Keep an eye on that, but it is a very fast mover. All right, areas like Chickamauga and Trenton are out of that warning. That's expired. Marion County is expired. We'll do another tracker on this. That's how fast it'll move over the next hour. So Dalton 7:18, just moments away. Calhoun 7:39. LJ just before 8 o'clock. And as I mentioned for Cherokee County, yeah, this line here probably get into Cherokee probably a little bit sooner than that. But that 8 to 9 o'clock hour, be aware of that towards Cherokee, Eastern Fannin, and toward Clay County in North Carolina. And this cell's pretty nasty right here. This one's been, again, watch out. You've got this cell moving east, and it's pulling up that cell. There you go. So that was rapidly forming. So it's got to have a lot of lightning with it, rain, and might have a little bit of hail with it, where it gets a strong updraft briefly there. But that'll be crossing Highway 2, right along the Whitfield and Murray County line. So parts of Bradley County, you're about to get even more storms coming in. Goodness gracious. Right here. This is going to be like third or fourth round of heavy rain moving in. Again, here's that ongoing severe storm. Till 7:45, that storm itself from the town of Ocoee back down to just south of 64 along the Ocoee River. Still pretty good. Could have a lot of hail with that. Let's check the current hail situation. Yep, there are pockets of hail in and around Ocoee. Very loud. All this lightning over the past 10 to 15 minutes, and of course you got some hail with that. You can see how these pockets of hail have been moving. So along the Bradley, Polk County line, pretty rough there. And now, of course, they extended this warning here. This warning extended until 8:15. It's for that exact same line moving through northwest Georgia. This is more specifically for Murray, Whitfield, northwestern Gordon, northwestern Fannin. Severe thunderstorm warning out until 8:15 Eastern. 60-mile-an-hour wind gust and quarter-size hail. That line extending from Cohutta southward, moving east at 35. So again, tracking that line right here. Chatsworth around 7:40. Dalton momentarily. And as far east as LJ by about 8:13. So the next hour, this is how far it's going to be moving. Again, for areas to the south, Chattooga, Floyd, and western Gordon. That's for that same line coming in. Also moving east at 35. We'll track this southern part here. again, Calhoun about the same time frame, 7:45 to 7:50. Adairsville, 8 o'clock. Murchie there in Floyd County, 7:33. That's still ongoing over Polk County till 7:45 Eastern. And we'll see that pull is pulling away from Ocoee now, but be aware in Archville, Coker Creek near the top of the hour, Turtletown by 7:43. That'd be as this cell moves rapidly to the east. And we're tracking that cell along 64 east of Ocoee, which has been a hail producer. A lot of lightning and very strong wind gust. So Archville, Turtletown, Coker Creek. This is its movement over the next hour. The northern flank of that line moving through North Georgia is right here, Ottawa down to Cohutta. The reason why this polygon remains active across southern Bradley and Hamilton, that's out till 7:30. But with that said, in the city now, in Chattanooga, there's still rain and lightning coming in. Adding to the flooding threat, but the severe threat is now pushing east. So basically we're along 75 and east is where the main push of the worst weather is. So that's a broad overview of the viewing area. So you can see right along here. That's where the worst weather is now and where it's moving over the next hour. Again, that is the worst weather now. Back here, may not look like it, but it's improving. It's not a severe threat. It's mainly heavy rain and lightning. So we'll start seeing, especially after 9 o'clock or the next hour, get towards 9 o'clock, there'll be more of the severe thunderstorm watch areas starting to move out a little bit. Checking on another screen here, just looking at this. All right. All right, Etowah to Tellico Plains. I'm looking at this. This is still pretty rough in that area, but it is below severe levels. They're probably, I've got it just isolated just to show where the warnings are, not the specific advisories. Because a lot of times the advisories can mask where the warnings are. But a lot of times the advisories are below severe levels. So I'm just keeping on here where the main warnings are at the moment. You can see this area getting really rough here from Varnell, Crandall, Cisco. And that was pushing into parts of Bradley and Polk, where you're getting another round of heavy rain and lightning. And you go up and down 411, especially north of Ocoee to Etowah to Benton. Quite a bit of lightning there. And then into Monroe County. And you drop behind this line, again, there's rain, there's pockets of lightning, it's still loud out there, Sale Creek, Dayton, Decatur, Spring City, but again, it's not severe. It's below severe levels. And things will gradually improve, but still be where the flash flooding threat. And you can see this green outlining where that flash flood warning is in effect till 10 o'clock Eastern across Hamilton County. All right, let's see. Lori says has some hail and Ringgold. A lot of folks saying a lot of thunder and lightning. Josh is very loud in Benton. A few comments I don't quite understand. Oh, well. Again, Chatsworth under the severe thunderstorm warning out. That's going to be out till top of the hour until 8:15, next 45 minutes. And that is because of this line of storms moving in from Crandall to Dalton. And it's pulling up this cell here just south of Chatsworth. So watch the movement there. That's moving north. And that line coming in from the west, they'll kind of converge there with some very heavy rain, a lot of lightning. This is what's really rough here, from Cleveland to Ocoee, to Etowah, to Tellico Plains, rough right in here. It's still loud back west of 75, but not nearly as bad. Again, just to show you here through Gordon County, that's out to 8 o'clock. Right along that same line we've been watching. And again, back here, these are not severe. This is heavy rain, but it's not severe. Okay. So once you get west of this line, it's very loud, a lot of rain and lightning, but it's not severe. It's not reforming. Okay. It's just more heavy rain, which brings up the flooding issue, but not like the wind issue and hail issue that we're seeing in this leading edge right here. And farther west of the plateau, things are improved quite a bit. So, for example, using Athens as an example, east of Athens, it is strong. West of Athens, not as bad. And you can see more counties have been trimmed away from the severe thunderstorm watch. It just shows you again, west of 75, things are improving. East of 75 is still strong, but back north and northwest, all these areas have been taken out of the watch. So that's some good news I can pass along. So All of these counties unshaded have been moved out of the watch. Now I have a feeling that once we approach 9 o'clock, many other counties as well. So you'll see a trimming from west to east, but already over the past hour, big improvements for areas off to the west. Still be aware of that flash flood warning out till 10 o'clock. That now extends into Bradley County. Right there. Let me check the expiration times if that's changed any. 10:15. But as you can see, let's take a look at the amount of rain. And you can see these pockets right here. Ottawa, Snow Hill, 3.5, 4 inches pretty rapidly. Short period of time, and it's still raining. Let's look at the ongoing warnings that we still have going on. This one over for this storm right here in Polk County. This warning out till 7:45, roughly the next 15 minutes. And then for this line of storms from east of Dalton to about Chatsworth, that goes about as far east as western Fannin County. That's out till 8:15. Same reason, 60-mile-an-hour wind gust, quarter-size hail, heavy rain, lots of lightning. And that line moving through Chautauqua County, keeping that warning up for western Gordon. I have a feeling it'll probably extend to the rest of Gordon County shortly. But you can see, again, the outflow in advance of that storm, popping this up from Calhoun to Chatsworth. Pretty rough there. So I'll be approaching 76 and 411. And again, just to repeat back here, it's red and orange, indicates heavy rain. That's really about it. It's more of a flooding issue. There's still some lightning, thunder, but not like what we're seeing here. So everybody west of 75, things are improving as far from a severe threat. East of 75, it is still ongoing for at least the next hour. Take a look inside this cell here of Polk County. Give me just one second. Some pockets of wind gusts there. And then we got, here's a cell here moving into Cherokee County, out of Fannin County on the eastern edge of the mountain. So the outflow there, popping up those. That's just in advance of this main line marching through Polk, approaching Fannin and back through Murray County. And that's pretty nasty looking there from Chatsworth to Calhoun. Right there, moving to the east. Again, areas west of Dalton now from Lafayette, Chickamauga, Ringgold, you're no longer under any warnings. Still raining. Beware of that lightning risk, but for areas like Lafayette, Rock Spring, Chickamauga, Boynton, Ringgold, Trenton, Rising Fawn, no more warning. Okay. Still rain and lightning, but you're not under warning anymore. Same thing, western Chattooga County. So west of Tryon, Fort Payne for DeKalb County, Scottsboro, Bridgeport, Stevenson, and Jackson County, South Pittsburgh, and Marion no longer under any warnings. Still raining, but not severe. And the main push locally is right here. And this is the most active area now where it's moving on the next hour. West of this line, still lightning and loud, but not bad. Again, the severe warning storm for Bradley and Polk. That part of the storm is approaching Turtletown. Still could be a hail producer. A lot of lightning, a lot of rain with that. But on the back edge of this polygon, there's more rain and lightning, with this one being the strongest. And very heavy rain over Tellico Plains. And this cell right here, moving out of the mountains, coming from the south to the north, crossing 64 in Cherokee County. So Murphy, you're probably hearing thunder in the distance. It's from this cell here, but you have more activity coming in from the west within the hour. Maria, here's that tornado question again. Chances are very low for any tornadoes. Thank you for your question, though. This is mainly strong wind gust, hail, and what's evolving now with more rain is flooding are the issues with these storms. So not a tornado threat, but still a very dangerous threat with that of flooding, very dangerous with the threat of lightning. And of course, with the saturated ground and strong wind gusts, you could have down trees and down limbs. So got to be aware of that. Elizabeth asking about Chattanooga. For the most part in Chattanooga, things are calmer, not a severe threat, but let me urge you and warn you, across Hamilton County, flash flood warning out till 10:15. So low-lying areas, poorly drained areas, a lot of runoff, flash flooding is a big, big danger, especially now as we approach sunset and things are getting darker outside. It's harder to see. So you might not want to travel. Okay, but from a severe standpoint, severe storm standpoint, things are improving in Chattanooga. Northern counties, not to leave anybody out, but if I'm not talking about you, that means things aren't too bad. It's rather loud in Decatur, the 10 Mile to Dayton. But again, this is all below severe levels. Yeah, it's noisy, but it's not severe. Okay. And a lot of these counties are no longer under a severe thunderstorm watch, which is good. Things are improving. Just to show you again, many counties have been trimmed away from the watch. So Meigs, Ray, Bledsoe, Sequatchie, Grundy, Van Buren, Cumberland, Marion, no longer under severe thunderstorm watch. That's good. Jackson, DeKalb, it's still raining and still a lot of lightning, but no longer under that watch. And we'll probably see between now and 9 o'clock more of these counties taken away over the next hour or so. But still for the next hour or two, pretty busy for I-75 and east as the storms march eastward. And again, there's that flash flood warning out. This is out technically till 10:15. We'll make that change for you here, just so we have the right expiration time there. Earlier it was 10 o'clock, but let me just make this brief adjustment here. There we go. And you can see in these areas, this is the amount of rainfall. Very heavy near Snow Hill, Ottawa, near Harrison. Just to give you some idea. So radar estimate. Many of those areas in orange, over 3, close to 4 inches of rain. Even in yellow, over 2 inches of rain. And if you look at our viewing area as a whole, that's where the heaviest rain has been. So this is pretty heavy rain near Spring City. But right in here, over Hamilton County, right where that flash flood warning is in effect, that's where most of the rain has fallen today. And it's still raining. So we'll see these start to change and add up. Your rain gauge may have had more. All right. New warning just added here. It's no surprise with this line advancing eastward. Cherokee, Polk, southeastern Monroe, and southern Monroe. Southeastern McMinn and southern Monroe. Out until 8:30 Eastern time. That line of storms from northwest of Ducktown to just northeast of Eton, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. Need to back up just a little bit, running out of room. There we go. All right, so there's the line of storms at the moment in Polk, back through Fannin, northern Gilmer, and this is where it'll be moving over the next hour. Murphy, you're getting some rain and thunder now, but this line of storms will be approaching you by 8:17, about a half hour away. And about as far east as Blairsville by 8:30. So the next hour, that line will be pressing eastward and almost getting out of the eastern edge of our viewing area. And we'll see over the next 3 minutes this polygon here expiring, as that cell is now over Turtletown, but it's part of that broken line. And the reason why they've already issued a warning now farther east for this cell near Turtletown and that line going down to near Eton moving east. Okay. So that's why this warning here is going to become more active than that one over Western Polk. Here's that line. They did extend that warning for Gordon County. We talked about that a few minutes ago. And just to show you, that was extended out to 8:15 for that part of Gordon County. Line moving east at 30. So let's, track this southern part of the line. This is its window over the next hour. So we go from here to way over here over the next hour. Grassy Creek over the next few minutes. LJ around 8 o'clock in Gilmer County. Cartacay way over into the Appalachian Trail area. 8:23. Hot House in Cherokee County. 8:13. And Murphy around 8:36. So again, it's already raining in Murphy, but it's when this line will get to you. Again, there's that warning issued a few minutes ago. The severe thunderstorm warning until 8:30 for Cherokee, Polk, southeastern McMinn, and southern Monroe. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail will be possible. And it wouldn't surprise me if they extend this line here into Gilmer and Fannin. We'll see what they do here. I have a feeling they probably will because it's outrunning this polygon here. Because this for Eastern Fannin out till 8:15, yeah, it's outpacing it quite a bit. So I have a feeling we'll probably see an extension of the warning here or Fannin and Gilmer. So heads up Blue Ridge and LJ. Calhoun, that worst of that weather's moving through you right now. It's still loud in Somerville, though you're now on the back edge of that line, so things are improving. And again, all this orange and red that you see from Chattanooga westward is not severe. It is a flooding danger, but it's no longer severe. So not a severe storm threat. It's loud and a lot of lightning and heavy downpours, but not severe. There's that extension for Gilmer and Fannin. Just talked about that. And there you go. That's out till 8:45, roughly the next hour. That's for Gilmer, southeastern Murray, northwestern Fannin. Again, gust of 60 miles an hour and quarter-size hail. They have the line. This is from the National Weather Service, Peachtree City, slowing that line down, moving east at 15. So it's moving a little slower. Mountainous terrain may have a little bit of impact on that. But a slower movement, of course, means more heavy rain over a larger area. But heads up from LJ, Blue Ridge, all the way to Murphy. All of you all are now under severe thunderstorm warning. Again, for LJ and Blue Ridge till 8:45. And Murphy out till 8:30 Eastern time. Now, again, I just had someone note here. Pam says it's trying to start up again in Cleveland. Yes. Now, listen. Let me show you. Yeah, there's still going to be thunder, lightning, thunder, and heavy rain. But the severe threat is now east of you. So no longer a severe storm threat. Those can be kind of noisy and raining. So a flooding threat, but not severe. That severe threat is now east of you in Cleveland. Okay. Mike and Tunnel Hill. Yeah, the severe threat for you in Tunnel Hill is now moving east of you. So the severe threat is now east. There'll still be some rain coming back in and some lightning, but the severe threat kind of winding down for Tunnel Hill, Dalton, Lafayette, Ringgold. So all this back in here, not severe. It's just more rain, but from a flooding threat, it is severe, but not like these here. And I'm showing this to the south because Braves play tonight, right? Don't they play the Dodgers? They're already playing. So with Smyrna right here, it's in the third inning. I'd say around the 6th, 7th inning, they're going to have to watch what this does. So see what happens. No score after the third inning. All right, let's do a little tracking information here. Okay, this part of the line right here, east at 40. So that line will make it this far for the next hour. So Copper Hill, get ready for some stronger wind gusts, hail potential, and more heavy rain over the next few minutes. 7:56. Turtletown, 8 o'clock. Ivy Log around 8:23, and Murphy around 8:29. Again, take a look at the hail in this. You can still hear rumbles of thunder where we are. It's no longer severe storm threat, but it's just loud. Yeah, you can still see pockets of hail possible. I'll loop the hail so you can see that. Turtletown, West of Blue Ridge, pockets of hail still possible. And this also notes where the stronger storms are. So right along the Murray, Gilmer County line, where the warnings are in place, still some pockets of hail possible. But notice again, west of that line, no hail showing up. So things are improving quite a bit. So all the hail is here from Murray to Gilmer to Fannin to Polk. I'll probably go into Monroe County, and eventually Cherokee County. But that's really the extent. And that shows you, again, when you isolate where the hail is, you can't get an idea where the worst weather is. Right here, moving east. Everything west may be loud, but not severe. Let's go across our northern counties. I don't want to leave anybody out, but Spring City, Athens, Sweetwater, Crossville, Dayton, Decatur, Pikeville. Raining, lightning, that's it. Be aware of a runoff and flooding threat, but not a severe potential. Had someone ask, here's a good question. Shannon asked, why is the polygon for severe thunderstorm red over this part of Cherokee County? They have different types of levels for severe thunderstorm warnings. When it's outlined in red, that means there's some rotation in a storm where an isolated tornado can't be ruled out. So they kind of just put it out there that that's always a possibility. It's a low-end chance, but we're kind of just monitoring that. So it's a severe thunderstorm warning, strong wind gust, and be aware of any quick spin up possible. We're not seeing that at the moment. But that's the reason why that's outlined in red. And notice the others are not. They're more straight line wind issues. But we're watching that. But so far, we've not had any spin ups. That's a good question, though, Shannon. I'm glad you asked that. It's more of a meteorological for me to watch. When I see the red, it's like, okay, let's watch that. Look at the velocity scans. That's the reason why I've got it outlined so we can know that when we're tracking it. Look at the velocity scan here. Let me we'll turn on. Let's isolate it to Peachtree City. Yeah. And you can again see where the stronger gusts are here. Chatsworth to LJ, straight line wind gusts along that line. And again, you can see there's a little bit of rotation there without near Turtletown. Right there. Let me back it up just a little bit. You can see right there. That was a few minutes ago. So, some quick burst rotation with that. That's the reason why that polygon's outlined in red. We'll keep an eye on that. Nothing sustained, but we'll keep an eye on that if anything changes to that warning. You can see in Murphy, we've got these cells coming in, but it's still got the main line back here. So it's going to be pretty active over the next hour in Murphy with these storms. Again, it's that change in direction. These are coming in from the south. And you're going to have this line, which is near Turtletown and Copper Hill, coming in from the west. And we've seen that for areas from the city and east where it kind of converged there and changed direction of movement. So it looks like now areas like Crandall, that's the worst part, is now east of you. Dalton, things are good now. The severe threat's now east of you. As I mentioned, Ringgold, across a large part of northwest Georgia, still raining and kind of loud, but the worst weather is now to your east, moving away. Calhoun, almost out of it, not quite yet. Right along 41 and 75, it is heading east pretty rapidly. So parts of Chattooga, this part of Floyd, most of that is now east of you, so things will be improving in these areas. Cleveland, things are improving for you as well. Quite a change over the past hour. Cleveland still has very heavy rain. It's going to have some lightning. It's pretty noisy out there, but the worst weather is now moving east of you. So things are improving, no longer under warning, severe threat dropping off. And I know it's hard to believe when it's still loud out there and raining, but again, that the worst weather is now moving over Polk County. Benton, Ocoee, things are improving for both of you. Same thing for Crandall. Right along 411. Everything's now moving east of 411, with the exception of the area south of Chatsworth. Chatsworth down to Calhoun. It's just about to reach Ellijay. Again, it's slowing down with the interaction with the higher terrain there. You have 3,000-4,000 foot mountain peaks, so it's going to slow it down just a bit. Copper Hill, McKaysville, about to get a lot of heavy rain. Strong wind gusts accompanying that all the way to Turtletown. Tellico Plains still technically under this warning. Again, this runs until, what time is it now? It's almost 8 o'clock. It runs for the next 30 minutes as these storms march on through. Chaz asking that about Reliance. Yeah, Reliance right in that under the gun right now with those heavy downpours right there along the Hiwassee River. So you're still under that severe thunderstorm warning there in that part of Polk County until 8:30. And again, in Murphy, you've got these storms coming in from the south and storms coming in from the west. And show you again, more counties have been dropped off the severe thunderstorm watch. Hamilton County no longer under the watch. Neither is Bradley County. So again, all these areas from I-75 and west, things are good. Now, that's from a severe thunderstorm watch point of view. It is still raining. Flooding is a big threat, okay? And still some lightning out there, but the severe thunderstorm watch trimming away. And I would say pretty soon these counties might be trimmed away as well. But in southeast Tennessee, only Monroe and Polk remain. All other areas to the west, okay, no longer under that severe thunderstorm watch. Always have to pass on good news. Let's go to our hail tracker again. Yes, again, it'll show you where the worst of the weather is. So you can see some pockets of little pea-sized hail west of Murphy, Turtletown, and just to the west of Blue Ridge. So when you're able to isolate and see where the hail is happening, you kind of see where the worst storms are. You can see right along the state line here, these little pockets right in here. And still just a little bit there coming out of Murray into Gilmer County right here. Over the past hour, we've seen quite an improvement in the amount of hail moving away. But be aware in Cherokee County, hothouse to Murphy, some pea-sized hail there, and a little bit more with the storms coming in out of eastern Polk. You can see even more. These are outside the viewing area, but you can see more of these storms starting to pop up down near Gainesville, Georgia, or near Dawson County. So those won't be affecting us. It might eventually, where you see these, might move into Clay County near Hayesville. But Hayesville, you also got more coming in from the west. And again, please note that I mentioned all these counties back here in southeast Tennessee no longer under severe thunderstorm watch. It's still raining. There's still lightning, but it's not a severe storm threat. It is a flooding risk, but not severe storm. All of these severe storms are now well east of 75 and farther east. I'll outline it here. The worst weather is now right along here. And heading this way. Okay, so this is the most active area momentarily. Murphy to Copper Hill to Blue Ridge to Ellijay and now east of Calhoun. Everybody else, the severe threat going down. Let me show you the overall view. And this kind of gives you a better idea that the worst weather is now on the leading edge right here. Everything back behind this is improving. Yeah, it's still raining, but not a severe threat coming back. In fact, these storms from Rome and south, those are going to be headed toward the Atlanta metro area, not our way, heading that way. And these heading off to the east, which eventually will be outside of our viewing area in about an hour. So by 9 o'clock. Still that flash flood warning out for Hamilton and Bradley. Take this very seriously, folks. We've had rainfall amounts 3 to 5 inches, and it's going to cause flooding very rapidly in a lot of poorly drained areas. So even some areas that you don't think will flood, if the drains are clogged, it's going to flood. You can see again, this is just a rough estimate. Over 4 inches, Snow Hill, Ottawa, Harrison, close to 5. So your rain gauge may have more or less, just kind of giving you an idea. But as you can see across the viewing area, the most rain fell over Hamilton County. Some pockets of heavy rain, northern Monroe and northern Ray, but right here, this is where the worst weather's been. So no surprise, we're getting a lot of reports of flooding. All right, so here are the ongoing warnings locally. There are 3 of them. We have this one, which includes Murphy, Copper Hill, Turtletown to south of Tellico Plains. This is out to 8:30. Wind gusts up to 60, penny-size hail possible. I mentioned pea-size, but penny-size is also possible, maybe a little bit larger than that. Radar can estimate, but what you see on the surface is always probably going to be a little bit different. Be aware of that. But at least it helps to show where it's hailing. And then we got to the south, This warning for Fannin and Gilmer County out to 8:45. Again, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail. And for Gordon County, Calhoun to Fairmont, this out till 8:15 as the storms move to the east at 30. So at about the next 10-15 minutes, it'll be out of Gordon County. And it's still affecting southern Murray County, but it's about to move out. That warning there is about to expire momentarily in the next 10 minutes. And again, all the rest of our viewing area, Cleveland, back to Chattanooga, back to Jasper, back to Dunlap, back to Pikeville. I'll circle it. So what I'm going to circle, right in here, no longer severe. Where it's circled is no longer severe. Beware of flooding, beware of lightning. But as far as the wind and other aspects, that is a lot lower, okay? It's all this is where the worst weather is right here, and that should clear out of our eastern viewing area by 9 o'clock within the hour, okay? So all back in here, it's a little noisy. Beware of the severe flooding threat, but severe weather, that chance is dropping off. No, in fact, many areas no longer under that severe thunderstorm watch, which is good. Check this other screen over here. Yeah, you can hear outside our building. It's still pretty loud, but it's not severe, which is good. Let's see some of the questions here. Scott said there was hail in Hickson. Yeah, we had quite a bit of hail in Hickson and Harrison Middle Valley earlier on today. Ron says, roll tide roll. Oh, here we go. As soon as we say that, there's going to be other teams chiming in, which is fine. I love SEC football. Let's see. Alonzo asking about Cleveland. Alonzo, Cleveland's good. No longer a severe threat in Cleveland. It's still going to be loud with loud claps of thunder. It's still raining heavily, but no longer a severe storm threat in Cleveland. In fact, Cleveland, Calhoun, Athens, Ottawa, Sail Creek, Spring City, Decatur, 10 Mile, Pikeville, Sweetwater, Dunlap, Tracy City, Whitwell, Mount Eagle, South Pittsburgh, Stevenson. You're all good. I mean, it's raining. And it's still lightning, but not a severe storm threat. All right, pretty rough here. Blue Ridge to Ellijay. So that line is moving in, so you're getting the worst wind right now. Yeah, they found that major flooding out on Gun Barrel. And you can see again your blue. What I'm doing is looking at the velocity scan. So it's a pretty rough wind there. Copper Hill to Blue Ridge. Strong wind gusts there. So it could be a hail producer there. That's right through Copper Hill to McKaysville to Blue Ridge. And that'll be affecting Murphy, moving in pretty quickly. It's right over Ellijay now, down to just east of Calhoun. So Calhoun, Resaca, you're now improving. So is Chatsworth as it's moving away. So it kind of stretches from Fairmont to Ellijay to Blue Ridge, up to Copper Hill, McKaysville, Turtletown, and into Cherokee County. So again, this warning, which still includes Monroe and Polk, although it's about to move out of both those counties, that's out till 8:30. Let's see. Mia asks, is it safe to travel East Brainerd Road or Lee Highway? Mia, we've heard a lot of reports of some isolated areas that have been flooded there. I don't know specifically the ones, but I'd be very careful traveling tonight, especially when it's dark outside. Can't see flooded areas very well. So if you have to travel, travel safely. Okay. Again, Diamond here asking about Bradley County. So Bradley County, things are a lot better, improving. No longer a severe threat. Just be aware of ponding on roadways and excessive runoff. Connie says just had pea-size hail in Murphy. And you are under that warning. It's no surprise that we've seen those pockets of hail moving through. Sarah, it's a good question. How much more rain can we expect? It really, the amount of heavy rain is going to start winding down. So we could easily, and it depends on where you are. I'm going to use Chattanooga as an example. We can still pick up close to another inch or so in Chattanooga. Now, overnight, because the amount of rain will break off overnight, a lot of the runoff will subside a bit, except for stubborn areas that are left over with flooding. So, there's still going to be at least some pockets of flooding overnight and first thing in the morning. So do be aware of that. But the volume of rain, especially around midnight and afterwards, will come on down a bit. Now, tomorrow, as we get more rain and thunder moving in on the saturated ground, we can expect a resurgence there, some poorly drained areas and a little bit of minor flooding. So we got to be aware of that also. It's a good question, though. Again, Chatsworth, the worst weather is now to your east. Things are improving. Calhoun, Georgia, same thing. The worst of that's now to your east, but still very heavy rain in the eastern part of Gordon County near Ranger and Fairmont. Ellijay, Blue Ridge, again, right in the heart of that line moving in. That's been that strongest line coming through. And right along 64, crossing the state line from Copper Hill into the hothouse area, Cherokee County, and all the way to Murphy. Again, many pockets of pea-sized hail, very common for these moving through. And again, this warning out here till 8:30 Eastern time. For Gilmer Fannin, that's out till 8:45. And for Gordon, this expires at 8:15 any moment now. They probably won't extend that. It's about to exit out of the county anyway. And just to show you again, many counties have now been lifted out of the severe thunderstorm watch. So if I mention your county, you're no longer under the watch. McMinn, Bradley, Meigs, Ray, Bledsoe, Hamilton, Sequatchie, Marion, Cumberland, Van Buren, Grundy, Franklin, Jackson, DeKalb. All these counties no longer under severe thunderstorm watch. And I have a feeling we'll probably have these areas in northwest Georgia trimmed away pretty quickly also. Technically, that watch is out till 11 o'clock. The threat won't last that long. And in these two counties remaining for Polk and Monroe, it expires at 9 o'clock anyway. So it's going to be moving out of there before 9 o'clock. Okay. Can't stress this enough. Also, the flash flood warning out for Bradley and Hamilton. And I'll read you the text of this warning. Doppler radar indicated, and we showed you this on radar, roughly between 2 and 3 inches of rain has already fallen. Additional 1 to 2 possible in the warned area, where flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. And then another flash flood warning here for Monroe County. The expiration time may be different than what you see on the banner. It's out till 10:45. So flash flood warning out for southern Monroe County till 10:45 Eastern. In that area, 3 to 4 inches of rain has fallen. And a lot of hilly terrain through there, so a lot of wash and excessive runoff going on there. All right. Again, the worst weather is now east of I-75. Now, please keep in mind, because I just saw someone mention this. Jan mentioned this in Fort Payne. It's thunder and lightning in Fort Payne. Yes, it is. It's no longer a severe storm threat, but there are pockets of lightning and loud claps of thunder that'll jolt you out of your chair. But as far as a severe storm, that's not the case. Okay. So there's still going to be lightning, thunder, and downpours. Beware of flooding, but all of this near Fort Payne and Mentone is not severe anymore. Okay. Same thing in and around the city of Chattanooga. We got rumbles of thunder outside where we are now, but it's no longer a severe threat. Marion, Jackson County, same way. There's little pockets of lightning there, but this is just moderate to times heavy downpours, just adding to the flooding risk, but not a severe storm risk. But occasionally you're going to have those loud claps of thunder shake your house. But right now, the worst weather is right along the Tennessee-North Carolina border in the Cherokee County, and now from Blue Ridge to Ellijay and east. All other areas back behind this line are improving. Again, it's still loud and raining, but not a severe threat. There we go. We got this new warning here for the eastern part of Fannin and eastern Gilmer, just because of that line moving in. That's out till 9 o'clock. That goes into towns in Union County over near Blairsville. But again, that's a severe thunderstorm warning out until 9 o'clock, roughly the next 40 minutes for northwestern towns, west central Lumpkin, eastern Gilmer, and eastern Fannin County. Again, 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail possible. And that is as that line rapidly moves to the east. So Polk County, things are finally improving a bit. It's still loud in Polk County, but now the worst of that storm is crossing into Cherokee. And still a lot of pockets of lightning near Ocoee back to Cleveland, but it's not severe any longer. Cherokee into Clay County. Oh, I just had someone ask. Johnny B asked, will Clay County get anything? Well, Johnny, you got the rain right on your doorstep there with Clay County. So you got all of this. This is moving kind of north a bit, but this is moving your way coming in from the west. So between now and 9 o'clock, expect Clay County to get some heavy rain, some lightning, even some pea-sized hail, which is pretty common across Cherokee County. And eventually you might have a warning extended your way, but we'll see. Nikki, yeah, Rossville's good. There's still going to be some lightning and heavy rain. Just be aware of where flooding is ongoing. But aside from that, the severe threat's winding down. Okay. Still a lot of lightning out there. When the thunder roars, what do? Thunder roars go indoors. All right, let's check on the hail again. And you can see these pockets of hail in and around Murphy, western Cherokee counties. That's going to be moving into Clay County. Pockets near Ivy Log, Some pockets of hail near Blue Ridge. So we're looking at where the pockets of hail have been. Some of that in Gilmer, but a lot of that in the Fannin County. It's crossing many pockets there over Cherokee County. So beware some hail. But again, that hail threat is now no longer a problem west of 75. So we're going to see a lot of improvement. Between now and 9 o'clock, a lot of improvement. Yes, Nicole, Chatsworth, the worst weather is over for you. As I mentioned, it'll still be a little loud out there. Beware the flooding threat, but for Chatsworth, this is much better. Urca asking about East Brainerd, same thing. The worst weather it's no longer severe. There'll still be some loud claps of thunder and rain. Beware of flooding, but the severe threat is over. You're no longer under a watch either. Again, a lot of rain out there. Just flat out buckets of rain. I don't like that from a flooding standpoint. It's going to be a big problem. But still some pockets of lightning. You can see this here. I'll point it out. Right in here, pockets of lightning still ongoing. It'll just be quiet for 30 minutes. All of a sudden, boom, shakes the house. That's what'll happen. Ash just noted that about South Cleveland. Yeah, same thing going on. It's going to be loud roar of rain on the rooftop. Every now and then a loud clap of thunder, but the severe threat is moving away from you. Okay. Going back to the severe thunderstorm watch map, again, just to show you, we'll start seeing more counties trimmed away over the next hour or so, probably. But again, look how many counties are no longer under the watch. And in Polk and Monroe, it expires at 9 o'clock anyway. So you'll see these go away at 9 o'clock. Northwest Georgia, these are out to 11 o'clock, but it won't last that long. Many counties start being trimmed away well before that. And again, the worst weather locally is right along the Tennessee-North Carolina border and south. It's now east of Blue Ridge and just about to push east of Ellijay. So about to push outside the viewing area. Still ongoing for Cherokee County. So pretty nasty with that wind right there. Strong wind gusts there just west of Murphy. We move it in. This warning right here, still out till 8:30. The threat will last a little longer than that. Let's see. Sherry in Ringgold. Ringgold's okay. Ringgold no longer under, well, it's still technically a severe thunderstorm watch, but the threat of severe storms has ended for Catoosa County and Ringgold. Still raining. Every now and then a very loud clap of thunder. Just watch out for flooding. But aside from that, the severe storm threat has ended for Ringgold. And again, there's that line of storms crossing out of Cherokee on into Clay County. Right there. And a pretty nasty line right there. Now east of Blue Ridge, right along 76, that beautiful drive from Blue Ridge to Blairsville. But pretty rough right now. Wanda asking, will tomorrow be a repeat of today? Well, let me show you. Tomorrow's severe risk is on the low side. It's a low-end level 1 marginal risk. There are a couple of things that concern me about tomorrow. The ground's saturated. So any more rain that we get could just make the flooding threat a little bit worse. So we got to worry about that, especially in flood-prone areas. But from a severe standpoint, there's not as much energy out there. I'd be aware of it. It's going to be breezy. With a front coming in, the wind's going to pick up a bit. And because of the saturated ground, And any thunder showers that come on by, you might have a tree or limbs brought down. But during the afternoon, there's going to be some thunderstorms coming by Saturday afternoon, borderline severe, but I don't think to the point that we had today. There's a lot less energy to deal with. But I worry more about the saturated ground and any wind that could bring down a tree. I worry about the risk of some heavy rain causing some more flooding issues. So I'd be aware of that. Again, if you look at this radar view and you see all this, you're like, whoa, it's rough out there. And it is. All this back in here is not severe. This is all moderate downpours and very loud claps of thunder. And then back right here, this is the worst weather right there. That line from stretching from Murphy, east of Blue Ridge to east of LJ, that's the worst weather at the moment, okay? Linda noted they had some hail in Murphy. So not surprising there. You got multiple cells over you. That one came in from the south, and then the one coming in from the west. Polk County, things have improved. It's still loud out there, but the severe threat's now moved out of your way. Most of western Fannin has moved out. Gordon County, finally, it's all moved out from you. Same thing across Chattooga County. It's still loud, but not severe. So, Wanda, you have a family reunion tomorrow. It's supposed to be at a park. Wanda, I don't know what location you are, but let me just say, I would have a backup plan. Anything planned for outdoors tomorrow, I'd have a backup plan because there'll be off and on showers tomorrow, some thunder showers, and some wind in advance of that front. So I'd have a backup plan, okay? So here are the ongoing warnings at the moment. Technically, this one here over that part of Polk and Monroe is about to expire at 8:30. Now, Clay has just been added to that warning. Cherokee and Clay, which goes from Murphy all the way to Hayesville. So that's out till 9:15. But this warning polygon about to expire. This one now takes over. This one right here. So you'll see this one disappear momentarily. This polygon takes over. So we've been tracking Clay County with now the storm's moving in. Now you're technically under severe thunderstorm warning until 9:15. And this part from LJ to Blue Ridge, that particular polygon expires in 15 minutes. The area east of Blue Ridge, east of LJ, that is out till 9 o'clock. So this is where the worst weather is locally at the moment. Again, this warning, which was issued a few moments ago for that part of Cherokee and Clay, is out till 9:15. Again, it's for the same issue, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. It is moving east at 40. So we'll put a tracker on that for you. And what we're going to do is we'll track the leading edge of that line right there, right here. So that's where it's going to be moving over the next hour. So that leading edge is just on the Clay County line. So you folks in Hayesville, between 8 and 9 o'clock, within the next half hour moving in. And toward Blairsville around 8:41. But that's where it's going to be moving over the next hour, getting outside of our viewing area. So again, that warning that was out for Polk, Monroe, and Western Cherokee, you're no longer under that warning. It expired. Everything west of Blue Ridge is improved. Everything west of LJ is improved. That'll be the next warning that expires at 8:45. This is out till 9 o'clock. This is out till 9:15 here. Cynthia, thank you for your note. I try to clarify that when I mention Calhoun, Georgia, or Calhoun, Tennessee. But I'll keep that in mind. I appreciate you bringing that up. But I always try to do that. I understand the double, like there's Athens, Georgia, Athens, Tennessee, Calhoun, Georgia, Calhoun, Tennessee, things like that. I'm aware of that. But thank you for that note. Again, more and more counties have been lifted out of that severe thunderstorm watch. These will expire here at the top of the hour. Polk and Monroe. Let's take a look at the flash flood warnings that are out. And this is out till 10:15 for Bradley and Hamilton, more specifically southern Bradley and southeastern Hamilton County. Had a lot of reports of flooded out areas, so please be aware of that traveling. This is out till 10:45 for Monroe County. And just to show you the amount of rain, you can see where the bullseye sort of been. Right in this area, right here, Hamilton County, a little bit more from Monroe County, but you can see where it's been the heaviest. And we'll just kind of zoom in on a few spots. And even the south side of the city, see, that's over 3 inches. Harrison, about 5. Goodness, Ottawa, about 3.8. And these are radar estimates. Your rain gauge may be a little bit different. Snow Hill, about 4 inches. So no surprise, a lot of flooding ongoing. All right, there's our entire viewing area at the moment. And again, it's very busy looking, but the worst weather is right here, far eastern edge of our viewing area. Everybody else, it's still raining. There's still very loud claps of thunder. That'll, it'll be quiet for like 15 minutes and boom, but that's the extent of it. It's not, storms aren't regenerating. It's not becoming severe again. It's just that this lightning and rain will persist for the next couple of hours, but things will be a lot quieter overnight. You get to around 11 o'clock midnight, it's all moving away and things will be a lot quieter. Okay. So just be aware of that, but it's not, the storms aren't returning or getting worse. The worst weather's right here from Murphy to Blairsville, east of Blue Ridge and out east of LJ. And as you can see, if you live in Grundy, it's finally stopped raining. Same thing, Mont Eagle, same thing toward Van Buren County, and eventually, very shortly, Bledsoe, Sequatchie, Marion, that rain will stop as well. It'll eventually wind down. All the energy's right here. So locally, the most active part of our viewing area is Murphy to Hayesville. And this warning out till 9:15 Eastern. And to the south, this out to the top of the hour from east of Blue Ridge, east of LJ, it's out till 9 o'clock. And then most of the severe threat will be outside of our viewing area. Let's take you through our future track as we go through the night. I just want to show you again. This take it a second to load. Here we go. By midnight, it's midnight tonight, okay, things are improving. So it's not going to rain heavily overnight. There'll be some pockets of rain, but Not too bad. Get to it tomorrow morning. As I mentioned, if you have any outdoor plans Saturday, you need to have a backup plan. Cloudy. It's going to be breezy in advance of a cold front. So some showers are possible Saturday morning to about midday. And then for the afternoon, here we go. This is right along a cold front. So with that front, you're going to have another pocket of rain and some thunder, lightning moving by. The severe threat tomorrow is lower, but I'll still have us at a weather alert day because with the ground saturated and some wind gust, that could cause some down trees. Also worried about the flooding threat. But once we're past the late stage of the afternoon and early evening, things rapidly improve. So by Sunday morning, look at that, 40s. Call that blackberry winter. You know, you get a couple of mornings in the 40s in May, a little cool snap. That's what it's like. Sunday, though, it's kind of interesting. There's going to be a lot of clouds around. There might be still some leftover sprinkles north Sunday afternoon. Temperatures will make it in the mid to upper 60s, but not more than that. I don't think we'll reach 70 in many spots. It's going to be kind of cool on Sunday throughout the day. Because by late day, we're cooling back down. And then by Monday morning, you get at 40s Monday morning. And then late day Monday, I mean, he keeps wanting to bring back some showers in 60s. So we're stuck in an upper level trough like that. It's going to be kind of cool and true blackberry winter there to start May. So we're looking at some cooler but drier days coming up. But at least again for tonight, it's not going to rain heavily all night. The lightning thunder will keep you up all night. The next couple of hours, you'll see rapid improvement going on. So again, we still got, I'm going to take you on a tour of the radar. Lafayette, Dalton, south of Ringgold, still pouring. Still some lightning and thunder. Same thing around the city. We needed to stop raining to improve that flooding situation. Saudi Daisy, Seal Creek, there'll still be an occasional loud clap of thunder, but improving. Now just lighter rain at Pikeville. Still some moderate downpours. Seal Creek, Dayton, Spring City, Decatur, 10 Mile. Athens, Calhoun, Tennessee. Moderate to heavy downpours. Sweetwater, same thing. Occasional lightning, but not severe. Cleveland, Turtletown. Things have finally improved in Polk County, but still look at all these pockets of lightning. So still a lot of thunder rumbling there, but again, not severe. Same thing across North Georgia, Calhoun, Georgia. Moderate rain, but no longer severe threat. Again, the worst weather's here now east of LJ. You're improving in LJ. Still a lot of lightning there. A lot of lightning in Blue Ridge. But things are improving. Western edge of Cherokee County, things are improving. So we basically just have 2 warnings left locally. This one for Cherokee and Clay till 9:15. And this one here for Fannin and Gilmer, the eastern part of those 2 counties, till the top of the hour, 9 o'clock. I appreciate those of you who joined us for our live stream these past 2 hours. Should add, we don't have a 10 o'clock newscast tonight on Fox. I believe it's the UFL. Is that what's on tonight? Yeah, football's on tonight. But we do have News Channel 911, so regular time. And by then, we're going to see a lot of this rain rapidly ending. Our main concern now kind of shifts to where the flooding is taking place and watching the flooding situation improve through the night once we get the rain stopped. Tina, when will the rain let up in Inglewood? Well, it's going to be a while. Still a lot of moderate rain. You're part of eastern and southeastern McMinn County. So you're still going to have some rain, pops of lightning and thunder for the next couple of hours. But I would say by 11 o'clock midnight, a lot of this moving out pretty quickly. Okay. And just to show you again, severe thunderstorm watch. A lot of counties have been trimmed away. Polk Monroe will be trimmed away at 9 o'clock. And these will start being trimmed away as well as the threat is now ending over a large part of North Georgia. So Technically, that watches out till 11 o'clock for Northwest Georgia, but I think they'll trim counties away well before that because the threat has now moved well east of these counties. And again, the only warnings out remaining for Cherokee and Clay till 9:15. And the far southern tip of Fannin and Gilmer is about to move out of those two counties. So we're really kind of mainly focused now as far as severe weather here between Murphy, Brasstown, and Hayesville. That's really where the worst weather is. It's still loud out there area wide and still rain, but not too bad. Not as bad as it once was. Doing a little multitasking, checking this other stream here. I'm making sure that all this streamed to our social media pages. I like to do these updates and make sure everybody's getting that, because every now and then when you do some of these updates, you're like, oh, forgot to include that. So Andy asked, are my sleeves rolled up? Affirmative. Sleeves are rolled up. They've been rolled up since this afternoon. So yeah, storm mode activated. Thanks for your question. All right, let's go back over and look at the amounts of rain. Very concerning for these areas. I'll zoom in a little bit closer. This is Harbor Heights, Hamel Road area, and Hickson. All these areas off 153. That part of Hickson, there's been estimated about 5 inches of rain. So be aware of the flash flooding there. If there are barriers, don't cross them. Okay, please be safe. Snow Hill along 58. Upwards of about 4 inches of rain. Ottawa. Little Debbie Parkway right there. Upwards about 4 inches of rain. Over to Collegedale. So again, it's been really heavy. Other pockets, just to kind of give you an idea, Sail Creek, just south of there, rough estimate close to 3. Northern edge of Ray County, about 2.5. So really Hamilton County has had the most rain. The only exception has been in Monroe County, way northeast of Tellico Plains. There is a flash flood warning there, but that's been on the northern part of the county, about 3.5 inches there. So the heaviest rain has fallen. Hickson, Snow Hill, Ottawa. So again, use extreme caution if you must travel tonight. There's the extent of that flash flood warning. Till 10:15 Eastern. All right, folks, let's give you a final tour of the radar as we're going to wrap things up here. Just to show you again, around the city, no more severe threat, okay? Things have improved quite a bit. It's still raining. Still worry about the excessive runoff and flooding issue. And every now and then, it's going to be a loud clap of thunder will jolt you awake. But the storms are not regenerating. They're not coming back. In fact, as we go between now and midnight, things will rapidly move on out, and things will improve overnight. So just be aware of that. But still, north of the city, Calhoun, Tennessee, Athens, Tennessee, Decatur, 10 Mile, rain, lightning, heavy downpours, Inglewood, Etowah at the moment. But again, severe threat has ended well to your east. Saw lightning out there. The main concern now is right along the Cherokee-Clay County line. So looks like Murphy just now, there's a lot of lightning near you, but that severe threat is now just to your east. But be aware that it's just now approaching Hayesville. So Hayesville, you're going to have basically what a lot of us already had. Strong wind gusts, watch for some small hail, a lot of lightning. Severe thunderstorm warning out for you till 9:15. And I think by that time, all that's going to move out pretty quickly. Now, it'll still be raining and lightning, but not a severe threat. Same thing now over Fannin and Gilmer. The severe threats ended for you. It's now moved on into Union County and Towns County. But Blairsville, Blue Ridge, LJ, still raining, still lightning, but not severe. Same thing across North Georgia. Dalton, Lafayette, Somerville, Fort Payne. You're going to have some loud claps of thunder, wake you up, shake the house, but it's not severe. Severe threat is rapidly ending, and things will be rapidly improving rather quickly. All right, folks. It's been a long haul this evening, but that's our update for now. If need be, we will come back in with our updates if needed. If not, we'll join you on News Channel 9 coming up at 11, which you can also watch on your streaming device at newschannel9.com and on the News Channel 9 webpage. Also remind you to please be aware of flooded areas. Remember, turn around, don't drown. Don't cross an area where floodwaters are happening. We're seeing that a lot happening in Bradley and Hamilton. Our crew is covering that. We'll have full updates coming up at 11 o'clock tonight. But thanks so much for watching. Please stay safe. Stay safe tomorrow. We'll have updates as well tomorrow with the risk of rain and storms and finally drying out and cooling off a bit for Sunday. All right, folks, stay safe. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.